Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Special live today, I'm super happy. I know, Pogba. We will come back on Pogba, but I'm super happy because today I want to speak about Juventus do Brasil. And I don't want to do it alone because I have a really great, amazing guest today. I don't know if I have to call you Clara or someone wrote me on Twitter, Clarinha. Ciao Clara.
Ciao, Giuseppe. Ciao, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. I love talking about Juventus. You. If you know me, you know that. You can call me Clarinha. It's like a cute way to say the name of Brazilians. Everyone knows that, and I'm really happy to be here.
You know that sometimes because I'm not Brazilian, I'm Italian, but sometimes people they are calling me Beppino. So Beppino, Clarinha, we are a great duo, guys. Let me say hello first to the people, and then we will also present Clara to understand who she is and what she's doing here today. Hello to Jordan that is in the chat. Ciao Jordan, always there from Greece. We have Bobby, we have King Munti, Wolf D's. Grande Wolf. Bogdan who is there saying hello to everyone. Ciao Jacob. Ciao King Chiesa. Hash88. Bianco and Neri News. Alex. Dan Avola. Mariano Italy. Marian. Vamo che vamo. That's the message of Lukas Arnak. Grande. Welcome Lukas. So we have a lot of people that will join. I can't wait also to have Patricia Pacheco, she's there, she's in the chat, she's saying bom dia. She's also the one that is taking care of Bianconeri Brazil. So I'm happy to have a lot of people. We also have Sylvain from Canada that in the moment he's in Dallas because he will attend the game Barcelona versus Juve, and he's there on the Twitch challenge because he can't live without Juve. Clara, now that we said hello to a lot of people, can you tell us a bit about you? Because we understood that you are Brazilian, but who are you? What do you do? Why are you on the channel today?
Okay, so I'm a Brazilian journalist. I live here in Italy for almost 6 years now, and I'm a correspondent for TNT Sports Brazil. And I came here to mainly to cover Juventus, also the Italian clubs that are in the Champions League, because we have we are right holders of the Champions League in Brazil. So we have correspondents all around Europe. And 6 years ago, I came to be the Italian correspondent, and I chose Turin because at that time, of course, we had the Juventus winning everything,
Eh,
going to the finals in Champions. Yeah. So we decided for Turin. Of course, I had a little bit of choice in that because we thought maybe we could go to Milan because we had two clubs there, but they were not in Champions League. So I said, why Milan? No, let's go to Turin. So I'm here 6 years, and I cover my day today is Juventus, but I also travel a lot with the other Italian clubs, but mainly in Champions League. So that's my job.
you have chosen the right club, huh, Clara? You have
Yeah.
chosen the right club because we won a lot. I have a question for you because coming from Brazil, were you already a supporter of Juve? Did you had a bit of sympathy, or did you become a supporter of Juve, or you are a neutral football lover?
No, I have my team in Brazil. That's Bahia. It's from my state, my city. Uh, and I had a very, very sympathy for Juventus because of Buffon. I don't have a lot of idols in football, but Buffon is. I think it's just I have two idols. He's one of them. The other one is it's a Brazilian. So I liked Juventus a lot, but I wasn't crazy. I wasn't in love with Juventus. I liked Buffon, and then for that I would like more Juventus. But the first time that I went to a Champions League game here, when I entered the pitch with the lights and everyone saying "Storia di un grande amore," I was like, okay, so I love this. I get chills like right now, and I said, okay, I'm in love with Juventus, and of course, it's hard to see everything from Brazil today, also because of the time. We are 5 hours now later than Brazil, so I don't watch a lot of Brazilian football right now. So I can say that now, Juventus, it's not my first team, but it's the team that I follow not only, of course, in at work, but I mean, for my life, for it's the team that I cheer. I, I like to say, of course, that if an Italian team goes to the final of Champions League, it doesn't matter if it's Juventus, if it's Milan, if it's Napoli, I will be there. So if there's an Italian team at the Champions League, I will be cheering for them. I will be cheering for Internazionale, for Milan. But of course, if we have a semi-final with Inter and Juventus, I would prefer that Juventus go. Also because when you're living in the city with the players, I mean, I go to every game here. You have a connection with the people, with the press office, with some fans. So it's different. You have a different connection, not only with the team, with the game, but also with the people that are around it. So that's it.
Yeah, it's a really nice explanation. I like that. I have difficulties to support other Italian teams in Champions League, but of course I respect also the people that are coming from another country, loving the culture also. Can you tell us, just because I want to know, and then guys we will speak about football, but 2-3 differences about the culture, Brazil and maybe in Torino? Are there things that you really say, and it doesn't have to be really football related?
Okay, let me see. Because I think Italy, it's a very similar country to Brazil. I think here in Turin, well, in the north, you have people that are more close people than Brazil. In Brazil, in most of the country, even if it's a continental country, we are more open people on the first
Yes.
talk. I mean, we're almost always smiling. We are more in that scenario. I think we are a little more open, but that's not something that I miss. I'm not really an open person. I mean, so it's okay for me. Some of my friends that live here miss the Brazilian. They're like very come to my home and then be my best friend. I'm not. I mean, a lot like that. So
But
for me, it's
I
okay.
like what you are saying, Clara, because I really want to speak about what you just said. The difference between, and a bit later, of course, when we will start, but the difference between the different Brazilian types of player, because Juventus has really atypical Brazilian players. So what you are saying is a really great one. I want to come back on that one later. Uh,
Yeah, good. It's a good topic to talk about. Another thing, let me see. I mean, I think Italians are very, 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 very dramatic. So it's, I mean, if they are, or they are fighting or they are loving. Brazilians are not that. They are more, oh, it's okay. It's everything okay. We're always trying to make everything okay. Italians, I mean, my experience, of course, it's even 80 or 8. There's not so what, it's something that I like. I mean, and another one, I don't know.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I like
thought of
what you
that.
said.
Yeah.
Uh, Clara, I know that you also have some limited time because you have a lot of of meetings. I have a question. Entering in and why also I invited you. Brazil now also with Bremer, that is the last one that we just signed. We arrived at 37 players or Brazilian players at Juventus historically. From the first Brazilian until Bremer, that's 37. It's the country with most not Italian players represented for Juventus. That's a lot. The second country is Argentina with 35, and then you have Switzerland with 25. Even if in Switzerland not a lot of players made it to the first team. Brazilian players 35, yes. 29 played official games with Juve, but only 7 from these 29, only 7 did more than 100 games. We're speaking about Alexandro with 272 games, Julio Cesar, and we are going back in time, Altafine even more. We speak about Cinesigno, Danilo with 109, Douglas Costa 103, and then Amauri with 100. And then the next one is 91 appearances for Emerson, Il Puma, one of my favorite players. So the first question I want to ask you, Clara, who's your all-time favorite Juventus Brazilian player?
That's very, very difficult. You know, I saw the questions you sent me before, and I was like, okay, I have to find one. And I for 30 minutes, it's very hard for me because I mean Emerson. It's I think if you think about the most important, the symbol, I think it's him. But I wasn't here.
Mm,
I didn't experience day by day with him, so it's not. I don't have it in my heart, so I prefer the players that I covered, that I was here. And it's tricky because I would say when I arrived here in the first year, maybe in the second year, that Alexandro was like my favorite player, because when I arrived, my first year here was the year that Juventus went to the final with Real Madrid. And that season, Alexandro was like,
it's true.
whoa. So he was that player. But after the last season, not only last season, but maybe two or three, he's a different player, and not only technically. I think we're gonna talk about that. But I mean, for me, he changed a little bit in the feeling. So that player, I know he's not here for long, but that player is Danilo. He's Juventus. When he arrived, the first thing that I said, he's very criticized in Brazil, very, because he's not like a fantasista. He's not like a happy, but Giuseppe, he is fantastic. I love him as a person. I love the way that he sees the game, the life at Juventus, the way that he connects with the club. For me, he's Juventus. So for me now, it's Danilo.
Hey, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let me ask to the chat that they tell us their favorite Juve Brazilian player. You can go whatever, all time. From Altafine to Cinesinho to Douglas Costa that we didn't mention. He was really great. I really loved Douglas Costa. Unfortunately, injured. Let us know in the chat. We really want to know. I see already. King Chiesa is saying Danilo is a lion. Juan Echeverry. Danilo is amazing. We love him. BVIC. Bremer is already the new player. Patricia is agreeing with you because she's saying 100% for Danilo. Kirk, Fraser, Douglas Costa, Dani Alves and Douglas Costa for Jacob. So we see the same names. The one that are a bit more older, they also go, and they don't forget, like Mr. X Emerson, El Puma. Then you have Vincenzo who's saying Felipe Melo. I don't know if that's a popular choice at Juventus. I don't know about that. Diego,
No.
we forgot about Diego.
Really? Yeah, I like him.
He had a really great career outside of Juve. He came in the wrong moment, we have to admit it. But a lot of love also for Danilo. And before speaking about the 5 players we have, a general question, because if I think about Brazil, I'm thinking, if I'm not thinking about Juve, I'm thinking about Neymar, Pelé, I'm thinking about Ronaldo o Fenomeno, I'm thinking about a lot of Bebeto, Romario, we go. All these players that were fantasista, number 10s, they know what to do with the ball, they are dribbling. And if you look at the story of Juventus, the only one that I'm thinking about is Douglas Costa and Diego. Diego we can even discuss. All the other ones are different, atypical Juventus players. We know that normally at Juventus, Argentinians are doing good, Italians are doing good, French players are doing really well, Brazilian not a lot. And now we are, even if Arthur might leave, we are in a situation where we have 5 Brazilian players. So can you explain to me a bit the strategy of Juve to go towards Brazilian players, and why these kind of atypical, strange Brazilian players?
I think it's in the personality and in DNA of Juventus, because what I learned here, that Juventus likes, and I love it, discipline. They love it. And Brazilian players, those that we are talking about, Neymar and Ronaldinho and Ronaldo and all of them, not that they're not workers, I mean professionals, but they are, they in the field, I mean during the games, they play by instinct, by they improvise, they like to improvise. The tactical are not that important for them, and I think it works at some kinds of clubs, but that's not what Juventus wants. I mean, from what I know, Juventus always wins with very teams that are very, with a lot of discipline, that are very obedient. And if you want to play with instincts, improvising, I mean, it's weird for Juventus. There's two. There's like many ways of winning, and I think Juventus almost never wins like that.
Mm.
So when they go for players, Brazilians, whatever, they have this in mind. We need players that can connect with what we are, and I think that's why Dani Alves stayed here for just 1 year.
Mm.
He is a wonderful guy. I love him. I Daniel is from my state, and he played at Bahia,
The club you
my
love.
football club. Yeah. So I saw him like when he was like in the beginning of his career, and I love him. He's like a wonderful guy, but he likes to improvise. He likes to go outside the box. Juventus, it's not like that. So it's difficult for players like that to be in an environment where everyone has to follow these rules. There's different ways of winning, but I think that's the way that Juventus likes to do it. So I think Juventus goes to the market and say, okay, sometimes we can go a little bit outside the box, but
Not
on
too
the
much.
majority, not too much. We had to get what we know. So I think that explains a little bit.
But it makes sense what you're saying. I know because I'm also working for Juve, so I know from inside that you have to be structured,
Yeah.
that you have to work. You know, like for example, before the live, I've sent you like a full page of Word with questions and so on and so on.
Yeah,
You know,
I love that.
uh,
I mean, I'm just like that. I hate being in a chaotic place. I mean, I don't work like that. So that's why I love Juventus. Even working with Juventus, I have another other person, journalist, that say to me, it's very hard to work with Juventus. They have a lot of rules, and I say, I love the rules because I know what to do. If you follow the rules, everything's gonna be fine.
I
So
am
I love it.
I am personally a really chaotic and improvised person. That's my inner self. But I know that if you want to achieve also a certain level of professionalism, you have to have a structure because otherwise it can go everywhere. I love, you know what I love? I love a chaos in a structure. That means you have your wall. You know that you can't go next to the wall. That's your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But in the zone, you can create some improvisation and chaos. That's what I love
Yeah.
in personally. But it's true
Yeah,
that
that's
also, with the question I've sent you, this is something that I learned at Juve. Because you arrive at Juve, you have to work. You say, okay, let's do a live. And no, this is not just let's do a live.
yeah.
What will you say? How will you
Yeah.
say?
Oh, let's do an interview.
It's
No.
true. It's true. You have to
Yeah.
prepare. So no, I'm happy. I have a first question before going to the
Okay.
individualities from Stavros. Clara, is there any chance we might go for Gabriel from Arsenal at some point as a new center back? First of all, I want to ask you, Clara, are you covering Mercato or not? The transfer market.
No, I cover it, but I'm not like, I mean, I'm not a specialist.
Oh, okay.
So I have some information, but it's not my field, it's not my passion. For that, I mean, it's just a think. I don't have information about that. So I think that it can be a possibility, but I don't think I don't think it's a place for him. He, as I was saying, he doesn't have this thing that I think Juventus would go that hard. And I mean, but he is very young. So maybe after 3-4 years at Arsenal, he can change, but I don't know.
Yeah. So Gabriel, guys, give up. We have Bremer now. So let's put a bit of excitement, Clara.
Yeah.
Bremer, he comes from Torino, the city where you're living. We were all thinking he would have gone to Inter. We knew it. So I personally on the channel, I said to the guys, you never know in life, but it's 5%. Stop dreaming about Bremer. And at the end, he's a Juve player. He already played 45 minutes, and maybe tonight he will even start next to Bonucci. How are you feeling about that? What are your feeling about Bremer from Torino to Juventus?
I was very surprised, but of course, we knew that there was like a little bit of already a negotiation with Inter, but at some point, and I thought that I thought that also with Dybala, Inter was not making an offer. So it's like 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. I mean, and I was like, where is the offer? If there's no offer for him, and I think that Juventus already needed a player like that because there's no Chiellini. I mean, I was like, I love the lead. I don't love him so much, but I like the lead. Yeah, I don't think we love him so much right now, and I was very upset. I was like, what? I loved you. I liked you a lot. What happened to you? Anyway, but
I think
like him.
that's a bit the general feeling of all the people. Now, of course,
Yeah, we're
in the
like,
media, everything
you
has.
could be
It's strange, huh?
everything.
Strange.
I mean, and I was very surprised with him, but that's another thing.
He's not
But
Brazilian.
yeah, but I was a little bit scared with Bonucci and Delete because I don't think they have the same way of working. I mean, they are very different. Of course, if you can complement, it's a good thing. But I think it's the way of thinking that it's very different. And I'm not saying either one it's right or wrong. It's just different. So I was a little bit scared. So I was thinking Juventus needs another defense that it's almost ready to be either with the lead or either with Bonucci that has a personality, a way of working that is a little bit more neutral. So I already thought that Bremer was fantastic. Also, Gabriel, the Brazilian from Arsenal. I thought at some time that he was going to be the one. And then with Bremer, I was like, it's taking too much time to make that offer. So when the lead went out, I was like, Juventus is going for him. I mean, I don't know what's happening at Internazionale, but Juventus is going. For the first time that I heard something about him, I was like, I don't have the information, but my feeling, he's coming to Juventus. Yeah. And it's wonderful.
Yeah, he's taking the number 3 of Giorgio Chiellini immediately, and he will have to fill the gap of De Ligt and Chiellini, because at the moment we don't have another center back. Huh? So do you think that the jump from Torino, where he did really fantastically, he won the Serie A Best Defender award, but do you think it's a big jump, or do you think that he has already the shoulders to fill that role?
No, I think he has. I think he's ready. If he was coming from another league, I would say no, because every player that comes here has a very difficult time with the tacticals. You guys are crazy about tactical things. Sometimes at the press conference, we have like 10 questions, 6 are about the lineup, and it's 4-3-3, it's 4, it's 3. Guys, settle down. It's for me that while we're talking about difference, in that we are more. We focusing more in other things than that. So I think it's a difficult that he's not going to have. So for me, he's ready. I mean, with Bonucci, that thing that I was saying with Deliti, the way that he works, I think Bremer is going to be fantastic because he is a leader, but not like a very crazy, not crazy because the lead was not crazy, but Danilo was very forward. You know, he was very, I
Yes.
can do that. And sometimes he said some things that I thought, Juventus is not gonna like that. Or maybe the way that he was in the field, I was, Chiellini would go for that because he has a more peaceful, I mean, on the last years. But Bonucci, the feeling was that Bonucci's not gonna like that. So I think it can work sometimes, but it's more difficult to work. So I think Bremer is going to be like perfect. Yeah.
You already touched about Danilo. You said he's Juve. And today I was reading in La Gazzetta dello Sport and Tutto Sport, because it was reported the same words, an interview to Szczesny. And Szczesny, when they asked him about Bremer, he said, è impressionante, is really impressive. Fisicamente è una bestia ed è un ragazzo molto tranquillo. Physically he's a beast and a really chill guy, I will continue, che sembra poco brasiliano, looks like he's not that much a Brazilian player, while his teammates are singing or dancing, a bit doing crazy, he's going a bit further away, and he's not participating to that Brazilian chaos. You said about Danilo that is Juve. You talked about some Brazilian players that has that structure, not like Dani Alves, for example, that would be the leader. You think that with that personality, being a bit shy or being maybe a bit more introvert, Bremer can be potentially a new Danilo in terms of attitude, behavior, Juventinità?
I think so. Because I think right now I mean, more shyer than we're gonna see him like in 6 months. It's his first time with this players, so I think he's not that shy. He's shy, but he's not that shy. So I think he's going to be more comfortable. Of course, it's natural with time. I I cannot say that I can see him because Danilo is not shy. So there's a difference between them. But Danilo is, I mean, how old is Danilo?
31?
Yeah,
If
he's
I'm not
more
wrong.
than 30. So he has a confidence to talk about things that I think Bremer is still going to learn. So I cannot say that he will become more confidence, but I think he's more right now like a silence leader. But I think he has everything to do it, to be more, because I think it's not about the way you are, but more about maturity and experience. And I think that's what Danilo has, because Danilo was not like that 10 years ago. So,
If we do
I
the
mean, yeah,
transition between Bremer to Danilo, I was super happy when I saw the first smile of Bremer when he put that shirt on. And in the video of the backstage that you probably saw also on
yeah.
YouTube, you see him really serious, and then he put it on and he smiles. And that reassured me a lot. Doing the transition to Danilo, that we already spoke a lot about, so I don't want to repeat all the questions. Danilo, he can be a potential vice captain. Today we have Bonucci as the number one captain. I was a bit surprised to see
Yeah.
Quadrado having the armband instead of Danilo, because I was sure it would be Danilo.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that we will see a lot of time also Danilo wearing the armband already. Something that really impressed me is in all the backstage videos, when the players are entering that massage room or I don't know what, there is Danilo and he's welcoming the players in a really mature way. He's there, thank you, new players or whatever, is really welcoming me really well. I'm super happy about that. So it confirms a bit what you said. The question I'm asking you is, we saw him as a center back last time versus Chivas, probably also today versus Barcelona. Where is the new role of Danilo? Will he still be on the right as a fullback, or you think that he can potentially play as a center back as well?
I think he can play because he has the variety in the field to do it. But I like him as a center right because, of course, you have to balance the team. You cannot have two Danilos. I mean, as I think of football. You have in the if he's on the right, I think on the left you have to have a player that it's more forward, more intuitive, a little bit more attacking player. So I like him there because I always think of balance. So you cannot have two of him. And I mean that's I think for me that's one of the problems that Juventus have been having is that Danilo is the good one in the on the right, and on the left we are having a problem. And I mean it's I know you're gonna ask about him, and I'm gonna say I don't really know, but I mean I like him in the right. Yeah.
Look, you just said it. I know you will ask me. You said we have a problem potentially on the left.
Yeah.
Alexander, guys, it's the Brazilian player with the most games at 272, 15 goals for Juventus. He came from Porto for 40 million, that at the time was a really big investment. Did amazing. And it changed. You said we will probably have a problem on the left. Tell me a bit about Alexandro. What happened with Alex?
Yeah, I don't have an explanation, but from what I feel, and that's not an information, guys, that's what I mean, what I take from what I see, is that first of all, he got a little bit comfort with the situation because he never had, I mean, a second that could take his place. So he got very comfortable there. And I don't know what
True.
happened, but you know that sparkle in the eyes that I saw that he had on the final on the season that Juventus went to the last final, and even the next one, he was still a very I'm gonna use the word happy, but I mean I think you can understand. It's not that he's not happy, but in the field during the games, I think there's sometimes it seems that he's not there.
It's
He's
true.
somewhere else. So and I don't know why, because he's on the 11 of seleção, and he has done amazing.
It's true.
He has done amazing. So I was like, what? Why don't you play like that at Juventus? Of course, I think it's never, guys, it's never just one thing. It's always a lot of things. So I think there is something that's parts of him, that is something, some parts that's the team, maybe the targets, maybe something that happened with the board that we don't know. I don't think that's just one thing, because I know that he still can play like that, because he just played like that with Brazil. He just made, I don't know, maybe 2 goals and 3 assists. And I was like, what?
It's true.
What happened? So I think it's a lot of things. In I think that's also the case of, I know we're gonna talk about him, Arthur. I don't like the when some people say that, oh, this team like it kills everyone. Everyone's like not better at that team. And I think we have a lot of things to do that. But Juventus on the last 2-3 years, everyone it feels like everyone is playing under. And they are very, I mean, Juventus had good players. There's some players that I don't think should be in Juventus. If Juventus wants to win the Champions League, yeah. But we have very good players that are playing under. So, I mean, it's not only Alexandro, but I think he's maybe one of the main in that case. But it's weird because I know he can play, but maybe he needs, I don't know. I don't know what he needs. Maybe he needs to
It's a
change
good
clubs.
question. We saw it in the documentary also of Paul Pogba. He was speaking a lot about happiness, feeling loved, and so on and so on. We know that for Alexandro, he received a lot of love. At a certain moment, the supporters started to be also impatient with the performance that were not great and at the level. Paul Pogba decided to not renew with Manchester United. He even wanted to leave earlier. He couldn't. And okay, now he's injured. If the people that wants to know about Paul Pogba, I made a video this morning. You can just go and see the last updates. But why is he not accepting another team? Is it because he has no offer? Is it because he wants to maybe go for that 6.5 million euro net a season? Because happiness is
Yeah.
important. If you are not feeling happy, you I don't
From
understand.
what from what I know, and that part it has a little bit of information, he hasn't received an offer that Juventus accepted. And he is not the guy, and that part is more observation, that is going to go to the board and say, I want to go out. He's not the guy. He's not going to do it. It's not him. So, from what I know, he hasn't received a proposal. That
Okay.
Juventus said, okay, yeah, if you like it, we'll do it. So he's like, okay, I'm here. It's good. I like to read. I have my friends. I'm not playing that well, but everyone is not playing that well. So let's see what happens. He's more like, he's not the one that takes action. He's more like one that waits for. So that's what I think
We have
about
10 more
Neymar.
minutes with you, Clara.
Okay.
No, for you, you can stay all
Yeah.
day if you want to. But we have still two players, and then I want to finish with also your expectation for the end of the transfer market, but also for the season so far. So, Arthur, um, he's on the market. We know it. Arsenal, Valencia, there are some team interested there. We had a lot of hopes, or some had a lot of hopes, because we know he's also from Gremio, where he was a really great player. At Barcelona, he had his ups and downs, but still a really great player. He came to Juve, didn't had a feeling immediately with Pirlo, and also not with Allegri. I still continue to think that he's a really great player, but also him. It's not working.
Yeah. I think he was very, very, very unlucky because he's a player that needs to be playing
Yes.
to to learn, and he had to learn to be more vertical in Italian football. But he cannot. He's not a player that will learn that without playing. So I think on the first season he was trying to, and when he was I think he was starting to get it. There was that strange injured, and then the next season he started the season without the team, and we know Allegri, he doesn't uh, put a player to play if he doesn't trust him.
It's true. It's true.
And he started the season, the preseason, and everything without Artur. So to put Artur
Starting
in the
11.
game was starting. I mean, he wasn't in the small group, and I mean, Allegri has wonderful, you know, things, but I have not a problem, but this thing that Allegri has, that he has to take like a year to trust a player. It's sometimes okay if you know the player. I think you had to you know the time, but sometimes I mean everyone can see that start him, play him, trust him. The player needs that. I
Yeah.
know the first game he's not gonna do that well, the second, but on the fifth, he's gonna start to show. And Allegri didn't have that he has the patience outside, because I mean we have a lot of players at the UV under 23. They were like, he's ready, bring in Allegri. Oh, we'll see. I mean, and if that, of course, if we have Juventus, it's winning everything, it's going to the final. Of course, you're not gonna put a 21 player, 21 years in the game, but Juventus, it's not winning, it's not working. So you have to trust without that time. So I think he was unlucky because he had that injured. He started the season without being there. So Allegri didn't put him on the trust list. So to gain that
You
and
would
still learning.
you would keep, if you were Cherubini or Allegri, would you keep him in the team one more year, or if there is a solution, you would let
With
him go?
Allegri, I wouldn't. With Allegri, I wouldn't. I don't think he's gonna have that
Trust.
chance with Allegri.
Okay.
I can understand. It's the way he works. It's not necessarily wrong. It's not necessarily right, but it's not the way he works. I don't think Allegri right now it's going to put Arthur on the trust list. So if and I think he wants to play. That I mean, it's not. I have this information, but everyone does. He wants to play. If it's Juventus, he'll do everything. If it's another place, he'll do everything. But he wants to play. I mean, he still has the dream to go to the
World Cup.
World Cup. So
And he's still young, huh? He's still young.
yeah.
From one young to another one, because I see Ricci Corleone is saying Caio Giorgi is the GOAT. Unlucky boy. Poor kid.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I heard personally, I don't know you, that before his injury, everyone was really happy about the behavior, for the young maturity already that he had, and he was showing fighting. He didn't want to leave Juve, he wanted to prove himself. Injury with the under 23. I watched the game live at that moment. I was really, really shocked also for the kid. Will he become the new Piazza at Juventus due to a big injury, being loaned out and never, or you think there is still a chance that he can come back and prove himself?
Well, he's very young, but I don't think he's in the right place. I mean, he has a lot of personality. And when he came, I was like, oh, very bold, because at that time, a player like him needs to play. And when he came, I was like, I'm so sorry for him because he's not going to play. And everyone in Brazil is like, Clara, where is Caio? I told you, he's not going to play with Allegri. Allegri is not going to put him on the trust list. I mean, he has wonderful things, but this one is players that young shouldn't come to Juventus. I mean, and I love Juventus, but it's not the place because players like that, they are starting to understand how they feel in the field, how they can be better, how they can learn. And if you don't give them the trust for it, they are not ready to accept who they are. I mean, they start to question them because they are not that mature to say, okay, I'm not starting, but I know my qualities. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, I'll be there. They don't, I mean, nobody knows at 20 how to do that. So they need, if somebody say, when you're 18, somebody say, oh, yeah, let's stay in the bench. You're like, oh my God, am I that good? Your hair is not okay. Because we have insecurities. We are learning who we are and to accept and to know our qualities. So if you don't trust, if you don't give them trust, they start to question themselves, and it's like, woof. So when he decided, because he had a offer from Portugal, I think, that he was going to play there. And I mean, we know Portugal is not that great as a league, but to be in the game at starting and then grow and have trust in everything, it's wonderful. So it's like, ooh, very bold of him.
So Clara, you're telling me that we have 5 Brazilian players. Arthur, you said leave because you will never get the chance. Caio Giorgi made a bad move. Alexandro, hey, it's Alexandro. So you're telling me we have 2 players, Danilo that is really Juve, and Bremer that will be a phenomenal.
Yeah.
2 on 5 is not bad, huh?
2, yeah, well, it's okay.
2 on 5 is not bad. Last questions, because I know that in 1 or 2 minutes you have to leave. Clara, what are your expectations for... I will tell you immediately the 2 questions, so you can answer both of them. 1, will we continue to buy some players? Do you expect something big from Juve in the Mercato in the remaining month? And 2, with the team that Juventus has and potentially will have at the end of August, do you think that we are upgrading, and do you think that we can compete for Scudetto?
I still think Juventus is going to the market. I mean, it needs to, but I don't think we're going to have like big players. The big players just came. It's Pogba, Di Maria, and Bremer. You still need someone in the midfield, maybe another defender. I think it needs, but not someone like really, really, really big. I think Juventus. Wow, it's hard because the first time of the season, Juventus won't have. I don't have information. Well, more than I don't know, maybe a few hours ago about Pogba. So I'm not sure if it's 1 month, 2 months. Not sure about that. But for the first part of the season, we won't have in the beginning Pogba and we won't have Chiesa. So for the Scudetto, I think since every game is the same points, it's not that confident. But I think we're gonna be there with Internazionale. I think Milan, in this market, they were like very behind. I don't think they upgraded the team, and I think Inter did with Lukaku if everything goes well, and I think Juventus did, but it only works if everyone is there, and you're not gonna have Chiesa and Pogba in the beginning. So who you're gonna put on Chiesa's side? Because we don't have Chiesa, but on the right side we're very good. We have a midfield with Locatelli and Pogba and someone else that's gonna be okay. But you already don't have Chiesa, and then you already don't have Pogba. So I don't know. But if we can, for thinking about Champions League, I think the group phase. I think we pass every year, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. And maybe February, when we have the qualify. How do you say that?
The knockout
the
stages.
knockouts, yeah. Maybe we'll have a team because we'll have Chiesa, Pogba, and Di Maria. Maybe then we'll have a team and we'll be strong enough to go through at least the first knockout. But for Scudetto, I think that the first games, like last year, it's going to be a problem. Last year, the beginning of the season was very, very low, and then we started to pick up. But for Scudetto, every game it counts the same. So, yeah.
Clara, you are having a lot of people that are super pleased with you being here on the channel. Some people are saying, Lester is saying, I love this woman's takes. Can you invite her again? There is Marco Mosca that is doing the channel in Spanish. He's doing Pueblo Juve. He's saying, Beppe, tell her that we want also to invite her. Shervin is saying, Clara is speaking factos. So a lot of people, they are happy with you being here. I know you have to leave. Clara, it was amazing to have you on. It was a real pleasure, a real honor. Hopefully you can accept in the future, maybe in 1 month at the end of the Mercato, to come back, maybe to speak about Firmino. You never know. You never know. Let's see.
You never know.
But really, thank you for accepting and for being the guest, Clara. Really.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. I loved it because we talk about football, but we also talk about environment and cultures and behavior. So I really, really like it. Let's do it again. No questions about it.
Guys, maximum of likes and say hello to Clara that is about to leave because she has a meeting. I will remain with you 5 or 10 minutes more, and then I will also stop because tonight we have a live on the Juve Twitch channel where we will show again the Juve game versus Chivas. We will show it. You can be able to watch it. So, ciao Clara, Clarinha.
Ciao guys. Also follow me on Instagram and everything.
The links are in description. You have Twitter,
Perfect.
Instagram, and Twitch. So the three in the description, you can follow Clara.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Ciao Clara. That was amazing. I loved it. Guys, it's not always easy, especially in Mercato time during the summer to fix sometimes a journalist, expert of Juve that are covering for other countries. With Bremer coming to Juve, I really wanted to speak with someone that is living that culture, that is knowledgeable about it. Clara is doing a fantastic work. You can follow her everywhere. Also, she has a Twitch channel. It's really funny because I don't speak Portuguese, but I was following her Twitch channel for a few times, and I'm understanding what she's saying. So if you speak Spanish and Italian, maybe you can also listen to what she's saying. She's doing a really great work. I hope you enjoyed it, because I did. Personally, I really, really did. Short one. I asked her, and this is something I really wanted to say. I asked her, what do you prefer? Do you want to record a video, 30 minutes, something like that, and we put online, or you want to do a live? And she said, I want to be live because I want to speak also with the people, to read the questions. Of course, if you had a 2 hours live, you could do even better with the interaction of the people. But I hope you enjoyed, because I did. That was it. Ati saying great live today. It was adorable. Pepe Clara was amazing. Patricia is saying she was awesome. I knew this is going to be great, and I loved her insights about Danilo. Some great takes about Danilo, about Bremer, about Alexandra as well, that she was really loving as her favorite player, and then she's admitting it. And then she was also speaking about Allegri not giving a lot of chances, and I know that a lot of people are agreeing with Clara take, so it's important also to have also people on the channel that has other visions about things. So I'm super happy, guys. Super happy about all your support. You were just fantastic. Like Muhammad, like Tsahi, at 64, Patricia, Marco Meola, Bogdan, everyone. Guys, again, I repeat, at 7:30, so in 2 hours from now, Juventus Twitch channel, I will show the game, so you will be able to watch the game, Juve versus Chivas, that we already played. We'll comment, we will also speak about the game that is playing in the night, of course, without Paul Pogba because he's injured, but with other players, what will we do? And we comment why we are watching the game, so I'm waiting you there to watch the game, guys. If not, wait, can we do a live this night? Maybe if something happens this night, we can speak about it. Thank you, grazie, as always, forza, Juve. Ciao guys, ciao Tsahi, ciao Hornet Instinct, Marco, Bogdan, Muhammad, Saif, Aldo, Patricia, Shervin, Marco, Muhammad, at 64, David, James, Douglas, Davis, everyone, ciao. Maximum of like, and we see